Oh, there's no 10-second warning. You are live right now. Fire away.
Well, if that's the case, welcome, Bungie.net community, to the world of tomorrow. So we're spinning up a new podcast again. We're just kind of winging it. That's my approach, but we're going to cover some stuff in the community, on the Destiny of the game, as well as what Jerome may or may not be doing within Bungie Studios right now. Quick introductions for those joining. I'm Prometheus. I'm in my house, but also joining me are Burrito, our resident Mexican food delivery boy. We have Lenore.
Well, racist. God.
This is spiraling out of control pretty
You
quickly.
don't seem to see how white my skin is. Come on.
Lenore, resident Beastmaster, only capable of talking with bees. We have El Burninator, leader of TFL and the other white meat, and then Roland.
This is not beer.
No, it's just really dark, fizzy coffee.
Delicious.
Also joining is Roland 13 Minority Whip candidate from 2032.
Hello.
So, can just before we start, can we go back to the bees for a minute? I feel like that's important to go over because I have very recently been made re-aware of the Wicker Man with Nick Cage, and so the bees are actually playing a very important role in my life, like spiritually. So that fact that you brought that up means a lot to me, From. I appreciate it.
So, spoiler alert, someone is going to be reenacting the Nick Cage Wicker Man remix of Taylor Swift's Cold Hard Floor. I don't know the song. He screams a lot. It's Taylor Swift. But.
Can we just put bees on someone's head and have them go, "Not the bees"?
Anyway, we're straying off topic. Everyone's giving me looks. It's just kind of dark.
I mean,
the bees are very
dark outside.
So, yeah, let's start talking about what things going on in the community in the game. Biggest thing recently was Cosmo's hiring our new adjacent community manager and former Reddit moderator, I believe was his position. Started a few weeks ago. He was just publicly introduced to the forums. What's you guys' opinion on, or hopes for his position, and opinion on his perception?
So,
off topic.
I'd like to direct that question at Byrne, the King of Salt. Use the reason that you can float in the Dead Sea. So let's start with his thoughts, just to kick this off to something a little exciting.
Last week I was a little pissed off. This week I'm not.
I hadn't noticed. Are you happy because your thread got pinned?
No,
what
not
can
really.
you do to make it up to you?
How are you measuring your success of, or your level of pissed off and not pissed off? Do you have like a scale?
Yeah, well, at the beginning, I was mad, like, at Cosmo. It's not like I disliked him as a person. It was more the whole, I would rather have someone from Bungie being the new community manager as opposed to someone from outside. But, it's been 10 days, 11 days, something like that. I haven't really been taking that much of a...
You mean like from Bungie.net, right?
Yeah, someone that, we all know, someone that's been around. Yeah.
But to be fair, did anyone really know Deej?
Well,
he was in his clan TTL. He had a forum presence.
Okay, then maybe it was just me.
Well, Urk too, when he replaced Lucums back in, God, I don't even know when that was, 2008 or something?
2009,
whatever.
I think.
9 sounds about right. I don't think I knew who he was either. So he just came out from nowhere and he replaced Lucums, and I was like, okay, whatever. They're getting someone to replace him. Community managers have kind of a short lifespan. Then they get Deej to replace him, to replace Urk. Urk gets promoted to whatever the hell he does. And Yeah, he's Deej's boss, but I don't know what his title
I
is.
think that's his title. It's just guy that bosses Deej around.
Pretty much.
Cosmo is not
Says
under
what Deej can say.
Deej. He's sort of like a coworker then.
Well,
Deej
do
is
we
his boss.
do we know for sure if Cosmo is like on the same level as Deej, or is Deej kind of like above him?
So,
I think
going
that's
off of, there was the community manager posting a while ago, and going off the job description for that, it was the same as what Deej does. So I believe Cosmo and Deej are equals, at least in standing that way, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Deej bosses
like
him
he has
around.
seniority in the office though, so I'm sure
Yeah.
he gets first dibs anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have tenure in place, but
I think technically they're the same.
Tenure.
well,
Well, it's more like a mentorship thing at that
Yeah.
point, then, right? Trying to get him to know what the job entails. So that's
Absolutely.
understandable. A lot of people will have a mentor when they get to a new job. That's fine.
but in communicating with them both, they don't seem to have very much of a boss subordinate relationship. It's more very much as he's helping me do X, Y, and Z while I'm doing L, P, and Q. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's exciting.
The reason why people got so into this hiring over the other ones is this is the first new community manager that's been promoted since Bungie.next.
Yeah,
Yep.
And
that's true.
people have
Can
been a
you
whole lot
explain
more
real quick what that was?
situation as before.
Yeah, what is Bungie.next? Most people still refer to the website as the Destiny app, so
Oh, Bungie.next.
Don't remind me.
It was the update of the site to a more Reddit-like format from a forum format on
Hey,
what
real
was it?
quick,
So,
doing around
if
34
it's a Reddit-like format, isn't Cosmo the perfect fit then?
He's a solid fit so far. I like him so far. I just didn't like where he came from originally because he wasn't one of us, but he kind of is.
I
don't
mean,
know.
he kind of is. His account is older than mine, and older than most people's.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you hire a new employee at an actual company, you got to open up the doors to
Well, yeah.
the public. And we did have some community people try to apply for the position. I mean, I'm not going to share their names out of their own privacy of the matter, but
It was prom. He's really bitter that he didn't get it.
I'm pissed.
Super bitter.
According to certain offsites, I'm super bitter about it.
Well, he wins
I
some.
should have applied.
At least you're known for something other than creating alt accounts all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. And stop going off screen.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. You know, he seems to kind of hit the ground running. He's
Definitely have to think about
some of the other Bungie employees talk more. I've seen Stashing community. Sifal is always around.
Yeah.
She's never left.
No,
Yeah. Who knows where she came from? I don't even know.
she's kind
It's a
of
random lady.
arrived through reverse osmosis.
I think
so-
the best way to describe when he showed up, how I felt, was like this. But
What?
now,
Dinkelberg.
I like what he's been doing for 2 weeks. I mean, we'll see. We'll see where
well,
he goes. I'm happy so
I
far.
don't know. For me, when he showed up, I was kind of just like, not the bees! And then I was very upset for a while, so that's how I felt. Well, because what a lot of people on BNet don't seem to get these days, or care about even, the people that have been here for years are kind of used to a certain level of community interaction with the company, and that's stopped in the last, 2 years, 2.5 years now. Well, not stopped, but slowed down.
It's shifted to we see a lot more references to streamers and streamers.
Public interaction as opposed to private, personal interaction.
Yeah, so
The
They're
times
definitely-
have changed. We're old and outdated.
yeah, these gosh darn kids and my gosh darn forum alums.
Making me feel old.
But
Personally, I'm really excited about Cosmo because I spend a good amount of my commute in the mornings on Reddit, and I can't say I've delved too much into it, but the Destiny subreddit's always been really nice. And he definitely seems to have a bit of a spark about him right now. So hopefully we get some exciting changes. And I think it's going to help Deej, too, just to have another set of hands to help with the mess that is the community.
Yeah.
And quite recently, he's been on a roll. He's pinned the update. He's joined.
Congratulations, Vern.
He's joined. Um, he's joined AP, right?
Yep. What?
Okay.
What? Animal puns?
His planet?
Ass Planet. Sorry, Ass Planet.
Anal penetration? Sorry.
No,
wait.
too far.
It was confirmed last week that Cosmo is a fan of animal puns, and while that's exciting, it might be irrelevant.
See,
Irrelevant.
And
we're
this
used
is
to
my
use
cue
the
to
last
go.
2.5 years. We can wait another couple weeks.
That digresses even further.
But speaking of groups, he also joined Art and Stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Cool group. If there's any artists out there, check
Congratulations
out Art and
to
Stuff.
the founder of Art and Stuff, Progo. who I
Yes,
thought founded it.
Rogo got promoted.
Speaking of art and stuff, that ties right into
Oh,
big new feature
segue.
dropped, or that was dropped under the community, the submissions page with just a huge, absurd amounts of art that was brought into the site, community-made stuff,
Yeah.
sketches.
Shout out to the piece of art that drew a stick picture of Crota on a stack and got it accepted. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a stick figure. It was great.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. There's some really great art. There's some really humorous, not so great art. There's also cakes and some Gallahorn cookies. I'm not really sure why everyone is so obsessed with Gallahorn, but each their own.
I mean, it does look pretty sweet, function aside.
Yeah,
And it is
Yeah.
stronger than every other weapon in the game combined.
it is true.
Bold
And
claim.
some cosplay. Program submitted a lot of stuff. A lot of people from 7CX have submitted quite a bit of material. It's thumbing through it, some really great things. And hoping to revive one of my old projects and get it submitted as well too. A video I've been working on. So it's cool. They want to do running a contest out of that, right? I believe they're giving out that thing.
Ooh, that's
That
cool.
shader of the blacksmith variety.
Yeah, well, like the first 10 people or something like that get the Taken King for free, the
First
collector's edition.
7 people.
7, that sounds right. Then you got the next 50 get the blacksmith shader, which honestly I'm still confused why that's such a big deal because anyone could have gotten it.
I think the thing is that not a lot of people got it, and it doesn't matter what it is. It's the fact that it's just exclusive.
Free.
It's kind of like Halo Reach with like the star nameplate. Wasn't really that big of a deal, but people really wanted it because no one else had it.
Shout out to the Fate of All Fools, by the way.
I still
Yeah.
want that.
And that mythic emblem. I hear not many people have that. Something like that.
Oh, Mythic Emblem. I thought it was the employee emblem. I get a lot of those messages.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should see the chat going on Mythic right now about that.
Oh, I'll take a look. Yeah, no, I don't think I can play a single match of Destiny without getting a message afterwards, either asking about the emblem or thanking me for the great work that I put into this game.
Yeah, no.
You did a great job, Roland. We really
Thank
appreciate your efforts.
I worked so
you know.
hard.
I remember one time, just kind of a tangent, but I was playing Titanfall with some Respawn employees, and one of them was like, "You see those rocks over there? I made those." And then the other Respawn employee was like, "You know, every time I play this map, I think to myself how beautiful those particular rocks are." I love that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, no, the real hero is Helvik, because without him there wouldn't be dragons.
It's true.
Uh,
Helvik is definitely responsible for that.
He actually did something.
Dragons. Cheers.
Yeah, so, did you guys bring up the whole Bungie Day Carnage?
Oh,
You guys know that?
yes, Bungie Day Carnage.
Oh yeah, thanks to Roland over here.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
guys.
Bungie Day 7/7/2015.
how many levels do we have? Like,
It was so Burrito won't confirm this because I think his ego's hurt, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the most successful Bungie Day Carnages we've ever had.
It was
All
probably
All thanks to
the most
me, of course.
successful.
It is the
No,
second
actually,
most.
yeah, okay, Burrito.
Well,
Yeah.
here was my thing, because I normally did the Bungee Day Carnage and the Pentathlon in the winter. The Pentathlon I didn't do because I was kind of put off by how Bungie was acting at the time to their community, so I was like, okay, and then we couldn't really get it to work with how the forums were structured at the time, whatever. And then Bungee Day rolled around, and I just had to work. So Roland asked me about it, and he's like, hey, are you going to do it? I said no, so he took it over, which I'm very grateful for. Like, all jokes aside, I think that's wonderful you did that, Roland. It's fantastic. But I got to admit, pretty sad that I couldn't do it. Maybe next year I'll do it again if I have some free time. But you did a good job, Roland.
I'll let you do it again. I'm not interested in staying up for 48 hours again.
Yeah, it's very time consuming. That's why I couldn't do it on a weekday.
But it was very successful. We saw
It was.
one of the best turnouts. I mean, we've had single lobbies fail in the past, and having had 24.
Well, first I need to say thank you to all the people that volunteered to host. I was actually shocked. I made the thread asking for hosts, and I got way more people that were interested in hosting lobbies than ever before, and half of them I've never even seen before. So that was really awesome. Would not have been nearly as successful without these people. And there were so many people, I actually had to turn people away and start cutting lobbies because we just had too much.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was awesome. Definitely didn't expect it. Index was calling me crazy because I think I had about 30 lobbies to start. I eventually trimmed that down to, I think it was 15 lobbies with well over 100 people playing. And that may not seem like a lot in this big community, but like Prometheus said, we've had single lobbies where we only need 8 people and can't even find 3. So yeah, super successful and would not have happened without all those amazing people volunteering. And of course, my good looks and charm, right?
Yeah, that was the good part. That's it.
That was the cherry on top.
Excuse me, I threw up in my mouth a little.
Gagging.
Come at me, burrito.
I wanted.
Replicate this now.
I don't want to come at you. I just threw up, please. I love you, Roland. It's great.
Also, a quick tangent, going back to the creations page, if there's anyone out there that hasn't looked at it, this is the first time I'm actually scrolling through it, and I'm like drooling a little bit. There's some really cool things here.
There's some really fantastic pieces. Anything worth mentioning?
Yeah, so there's one guy, he designed a cover of a comic book, and it's like in the really retro comic book style. Guardians, Bungie Comics Group, Destiny, The Great Disaster. Is the Moon lost to Crota's legions? Really cool kind of retro art there. And it's near the top. There's a nice little 8-bit Galahorn, but we've all seen Galahorn. There's one of the frames is breakdancing, Broombot, which is pretty cool. And then I think my favorite, though, is there is a blade dancer sliding towards Rahul, and it's done very nicely. Rahul doesn't look too happy, but yeah, no. Again, if you haven't seen the creations page, personally, I'm not an artist. I can't even think of what I'd want to submit there. Take the time to look anyways. You might find a cool wallpaper.
Yeah. One thing that I thought was interesting, there was a forum post, someone posted some weird clip of something that happened in Destiny, just a gameplay clip or something. Deej commented on it and said, has this been submitted to, or maybe it was like a fails montage or something, but he was like, has this been submitted to the community art contest? And I guess when I think of the art contest, I'm thinking of like drawings or paintings or something like that. But we're getting a lot of different kinds of media in there. So like I'm kind of curious what kind, like not even just the specific art that wins, but I'm kind of curious what kind of media is going to win. Because I got to be honest, when I think of it, I'm thinking like drawings are the most like coolest thing, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a person with a really sick Death Singer tattoo.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Dedication.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Brad?
I was just to say, yeah, to just expect one of Ghost Eden's ridiculous rendering.
I haven't seen his specific submission yet.
I think he has quite a few.
Fantastic.
Or was it the group of submissions? Because I've seen his work. If you guys look up Ghost Eating,
Yeah,
find the things he's done, they are, like, they're better than some of the art in the game. And Destiny, like, is many of the gripes I have with the game, its art is fantastic.
Absolutely. We should, though. You kind of raised an interesting point about how crazy some of the media samples, and like I said, I saw someone submit pictures of their Destiny weapon cookies. So I think we should call out Bungie to do at least an honorable mention of some of the most
Creative
media sources.
That's a wonderful idea.
I would love to see Bungie going through this collection, like, on a weekly basis. I want to see links every weekly update to this, because...
And the bright side about the position we're in is that if they don't, then we can.
True.
Yep.
Good.
I suppose.
Yeah, so it's going to be a race to that finish line.
Oh, that's terrifying. A guy made a realistic mask of the third man.
Ew.
It's
Well,
gross.
I'm going to scroll past that.
At least it's not an Echio symbiote.
Well,
Or Echiophage.
All
Yeah.
right,
How about that art?
Keep this rolling.
Yeah.
We're talking about art. Don't let me down, Prometheus.
No,
Isn't...
you guys finish your conversations.
Well, admittedly, the creations page does a few kinks, but I'm not surprised given the amount of volume of art that's coming in. But I imagine that's going to get fixed up because, like, the highest rated is not ordered correctly. There's duplicate submissions, but I think the outpouring of art is sort of
it's cool to see an immediate reinforcing of an immediate advantage being taken of this new tool that they dropped in. And there's always going to be kinks to work out, but it's good that they see that it's something people want to do, and that we don't have to make an argument for why it needs to be fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. Hope to see more things like that in the future. It's always worthwhile to drop suggestions of things you have that you would love for them to implement in the site within the community forum. Always encourage people to do that. But moving on from there, we have some events coming up. Most notably, the once yearly journey to Mecca in Seattle.
Yes.
Wonderful thing.
Or, as I call it, every other weekend, but, I also live in Seattle.
Not all of us can live right next to Bungie Studios.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but anticipation is building for that event. So,
I don't know what we're talking about.
And
32 more sleep.
what event is that in particular, Prometheus? Educate us.
PAX Prime. I mentioned it already. You just need to pay attention.
No, you said Mecca to Seattle. I didn't hear the words PAX Prime.
It is PAX. That's the Penny Arcade Expo out in Prime is in Seattle. They have 3 more events across the U.S. and also Australia.
Southeast Australia.
Big gaming convention. They cover a little bit of new technology, a lot of new games, a lot of indie games that are coming out.
Lots of indie games.
Card games, tabletop games, some great stuff. So my first year was last year, and I'm hooked. Went to East. I'm going to Prime again this year. So I know a lot of people are excited. There's a Penny Arcade Expo group. Everyone can jump in if they're interested in learning about it or making plans while we're there. We have some meetups. We have a bar crawl, lunch, probably a group dinner. True Underdog constantly talks about getting coffee. He's a coffee fiend, apparently.
I mean, PAX is something every year. That's like a BNet community thing too, and it's something where like the dedicated BNet members will go to this and all meet up and stuff. And honestly, I think we really need something like that because I think it was you who mentioned something in the forums a couple of weeks ago, like about how we are being referred to as a Destiny community, not a Bungie community, and that's something that really struck a chord with me too because we were never the Halo community. We were the Bungie community. And so
to an
it's
extent.
like but I love your role. That's great. Just calm down. It was something like right now we can differentiate between a Destiny community and a BNet community because the BNet community are largely the ones who are going to go to this little Bungie.net community meetup to talk with other regulars of Bungie.net rather than just go to see Bungie. I can't go this year, unfortunately, but next year maybe. Fingers crossed. But that's something really cool that everyone gets to do every year, and I'm jealous.
Yeah,
It's
the location's a bit of a put off for me.
Yeah,
I hate Seattle or anything. It's the whole cross the country thing.
Seattle's amazing, and it's actually raining today. We haven't had rain since like before June, and I'm actually crying. It's so beautiful.
We'll catch up.
Yeah, I mean, we have our worst drought in like forever, so it's not fun, and it's hot. We don't like it. But what Burrito said about the Destiny community, I don't think there's. I definitely feel very similar about it, some of the extent where we were always kind of like the Bungie community, and now it feels like the Destiny community. And I don't think that's a bad thing. The Destiny community is great. Like
Heresy.
Look at the collections page. Like it's great. I see people on the forums doing things that are awesome. But my only caution with that is I feel like it misses out a lot on a lot of the other cool things that the community has to offer. Take one group. I somehow always bring these guys on the podcasts. I love them. I never play with them. Adam, their not founder, but admin right now, always harasses me to play with them. But for Carnage to play within, half those guys don't even own Destiny. Half those guys don't even own Halo. They started on games like Pathways and Myth and Marathon, and that's what they play all the time. And lumping them into the Destiny community doesn't work because they're not the Destiny community, but there's a lot of cool stuff like them out there where they may not fit into just the Destiny community. So, love the Bungie community. It's really rich, and there's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Absolutely. It was really cool going out there my first year and meeting people face to face for the first time, putting faces to names, and
then going and crying when you finally realize how some people look.
I was going to say that.
To be honest, seeing Prometheus the first time was terrifying. I cried for a week.
He doesn't look like an emblem. It's terrifying.
I know.
He's alive.
But I think my favorite part about meeting everyone was just how many people's personality you can tell their forum personality is a direct extension of their actual real life person, and it's kind of cool. Just you kind of feel like you still know these people. Like I got to meet Foman after I knew him for 9 years. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's always cool to put faces to names, and there can be a lot of people in the forums that you never really talk to, but then you meet them in person at PAX, and you instantly have this kind of like a connection. And you may still not talk much when you see one another on the forums, but you can always share a few jokes and associate with one another, and you get to know the community better. It's a lot of fun like that. So go to PAX.
Does this sound like one big euphemism to anyone else?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm terrified because I'm sharing an apartment with Prometheus before PAX.
Ooh.
First of all, I'm sharing the apartment with you.
I'm making dinner every single night, so you're welcome.
Ooh. No, it's just a big event, and housing's expensive, and it's cool that you can go into groups like Pan Arcade Expo and actually find people you can trust. And you're like, hey,
It won't take your kidney in the middle of the night.
Yeah, please do
Because
not
they know I have to talk to
me
you.
Sharpie and or leave me waking up in a bathtub in the ice. My kidney's gone.
You won't wake up. Your lungs are worth about $400,000, which should cover about a year of tuition for me, and minor other expenses.
$400,000 for a year. Shit.
Well, I was going to buy a car
Classes.
or two. Anyways,
This got
All right.
dark.
Yeah.
So, anyways, go to
It
PAX,
started
lose your
hard.
kidney. We really need the money for tuition, guys. So please come to PAX so we can bring your own ice.
College is expensive.
If you're
Bring
drinking,
Steal from you. Steal you.
Credit card numbers.
You're gonna need a hotel room with a bath, not just a shower, please. It's for your own safety. I mean, we don't really care,
Buy some
but
ice. And
Don't
a
worry,
hacksaw.
ice is cheap.
make sure they stock the ice machine.
Maybe some trash bags in a cooler.
Oh God,
Don't
prom.
take
You're
it
So,
going.
Prometheus, you want a segue here before this gets too
let's
high?
rein this in before it just turns into let's just tell the whole world Roland is a serial murderer, organ harvester.
Well, yeah.
No. Only Prometheus.
So that was actually kind of getting close to the end of my list. So we could talk about the Bungie Summer League. Unfortunately, we don't have Death Incarnate here to talk about it, but
Apparently, we're too early in the morning for him.
yeah, things like BSL and the Bungie Day Carnage, they're an extension off of some of the wonderful groups that exist on the site that just deliver content to the community. Specifically, what we're talking about is Community Carnage, which is run primarily by Index, and just
And yourself.
um,
Well, you're the pretty face.
I should have said primarily. I haven't really done much, so I don't like to.
I think you banned someone from the chat. Don't cut yourself short.
Yeah, that's true. I'm the muscle. So groups like that, they are oriented to providing content to the community, and they do game nights. They get people who can host games, and a couple times a year we'll do some bigger events like Roland's Bungie Day Carnage and the Bungie Summer League, which is, if I remember, the Bungie Day Carnage is an extension of the BSL, which is an extension of Community Carnage. It's like some crazy thing, but yeah, it's kind of like a fun score-keeping.
Yeah. The score.
You're presenting this an
throughout
awful
weeks.
way, Prometheus.
No,
I'm
so
sorry.
like the Bungie Summer League, Death runs it. It's in Halo
And it's
games mostly.
third
And it's
year?
basically, there's a red team and a blue team, obviously, and the scores for like whatever team wins the most amount of games in that week, they get a point. And at the end of the Bungie Summer League, I forget how many weeks it is, Death will say, okay, the red team ended up winning this. So it's like an ongoing competition throughout the whole summer. It's a pretty cool thing, honestly. And he does it all on his own.
Oh yeah,
That's
Death does an incredible amount of work getting that set up and running it.
Yeah.
I feel
Red
bad.
team's winning.
He always asks for hosts, and I'm always like, oh, I worked that weekend. But yeah, speaking of hosts, if there's anyone out there listening that ever wants to host a game night, you need 5 other people to run Crota. Just go to Community Carnage, host an event.
Yeah.
People will play. Well, they might not. Sometimes it's a little hard to fill lobbies, but the point is, Community Carnage loves having hosts. You don't need to be a host. Like, you don't need to be initiated, but just come host, ask us questions.
And
We might
trust
traumatize you.
Oh,
I'm running out of coffee. This is problematic.
yeah,
I'm running out of beer. That's a real problem.
I thought that was
sorry, I'm running
fizzy
out of
coffee. It's fizzy coffee.
I'm running out of healthy water.
I have a beer that's like 20 feet away. I could get it, but it's just.
This is way too far, man.
It might as well be on the moon.
Unless you're like Michael Jordan and you can stretch your arm like across the court, that'd be
Or
sweet.
future LeBron James is doing.
He
Space Jam
is.
2. I think so.
That was confirmed like last week. LeBron James, Space Jam 2. Remember Space Jam? Yep.
That face wasn't for the beer. That was for the LeBron James.
Oh.
It's disgusting.
Nothing can ruin Space Jam.
The LeBron James can.
But yeah, before we segue on to the pros and cons of
Space Jam.
professional basketball players, I know we have a huge sports demographic that's on Bungie.net, but So
We might not
yeah,
have a big sports fan like thing, but we have a giant Space Jam fan.
we do have a giant.
Aw.
Like everyone loves Space Jam.
Everyone does love.
I'm an enormous sports fan.
Got to get that in the space fan.
I like my Seattle teams.
Yeah.
Is
Mariners.
mayonnaise a sport?
Yeah.
Mayonnaise.
And no, not the Mariners, Ramirez. I mean, we all
Okay,
love the
fine.
Mariners,
Oh.
but they never win.
To be honest,
Ever.
the Mariners suck.
When your local radio stations host a joke commentary of "Did the Mariners win tonight?" you know your team isn't very good.
Oh.
We like the Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks rule.
At least you're not the Bears.
Yeah. Fuck the Bears.
Yeah, fuck the Bears. That's right.
So wrapping this up, do you guys have any shout-outs you want to do of any particular individual or work or any groups?
Yes, I do. I'd like to give a big ol' thanks to Machete, Progo, and Relic 42 for helping me out with this update this week. I wouldn't have been able to make it half as good without them. Well, maybe half as good, but the other half they did. So they're a huge help.
Those are entertaining.
Oh, and expect more propaganda for next week. That's in the works.
And it will probably be the header of it again because it's the best thing to use. So make it
You could always use a picture of me. It's pretty great.
cool.
Oh, I got a shout out. Shout out to the bleeping sound that keeps appearing randomly throughout the podcast. If anyone else could hear that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, bleep.
that's charm.
I don't know if we've mentioned that, but shout out to it.
I only have one, microphone on my computer, so I don't know if it's coming out of my computer or off of one of you guys. So someone's beeping.
So we just ask who isn't hearing the beeping. I
Tune
don't
in
have any
next time to
shout-outs.
find out.
Yeah, tune in next time for more bleeping.
So yeah, it's fine. And if there's any for the people who are watching, if you guys have either a group you're running or involved in yourself that you guys would love to come online and talk about, anything community-oriented is sweet.
Or
Programs-
Destiny related.
Anybody that wants
or
to talk
gaming
about
related.
Nick Cage and the Wicker Man with the bees, let me know.
So wait, on that subject, this is the Nick Cage episode, Nathan Fillion episode.
Oh, actually, one last shout out to Baghdad Bean. She helped organize the pack shirts. So,
Yes.
Right.
Being is a lifesaver.
yeah.
Normally I do it, but I was bad this year and threw it at her, and I haven't spoken to her, so I don't know what's happening with them, but I know she took them over, and
Yeah, they have a green light. They're in the works.
good.
Awesome.
Yeah, she
What's
actually
Bern holding up?
she's
Bern's holding something up.
Subliminal messaging. Don't worry about it.
yeah, Bean
Put
is
it back. I want to.
back shirts. If you guys want one, contact her, or if you can't find her account, it's Baghdad Bean. You can also contact me. I'll make sure you guys get a hold of.
Shout out.
Yeah, they're free with a mandatory donation.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean
That's a very important caveat that you have to interject every single time you mention pack shirts. They're free. You just need to donate to our charitable organization.
Maybe it'd be useful if we had like a link dump, or we could just put the links after our podcast.
I can toss in a link. I don't think Bean has a thread up, but I can put a link afterwards to Bean's account if anyone wants to harass her.
Yeah, so
But don't, because she's a wonderful person and will kick your ass legitimately.
the donation just covers the cost of the shirts. The free aspect is just to dodge some copyright stuff because we're terrible people. But, she will ship them, I think, with like a $3 surcharge or something. But
All right.
All right.
I mean, if you aren't going to pick them up at that. So that's all I have, guys. You have any last parting comments? I expected Mexican food by now. I'm a little disappointed in our delivery boy.
I mean, I'm still white. Just saying.
Hey,
Hey, whoa! Don't profile.
Yeah, don't bring race into this.
He called me a Mexican burrito delivery boy earlier. How am I profiling?
I mean, well, burritos aren't really Mexican. They're more like Texan. but whatever.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
Who cares what they are?
I know they're delicious. There's a great burrito joint right next. Well, not next to my house, but nearby. Anyways,
I had
should I hit
burrito
the stop
yesterday.
broadcast button now?
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by the bees.
All right.
Goodbye.
Remember, kids, be careful of bees.
And
With
not the
bees.
bees.
Around bees. Anyways, not the bees. See ya. Bye. Everyone want to wave?
Bye.
Wave, guys.
You kept it going too